My name is Nathan Vining. I'm a family law attorney here in Indiana. I'm going to be talking about some of the top mistakes you should avoid if you're in a custody case in Indiana. Understanding why not making mistakes in your custody case is really important because you want to set yourself up for success. There's a lot of things that you may do that can hurt your chances for success in the long run, and there's things you can do that can help benefit you. And if you're trying to get more parenting time or change custody, can help you achieve that goal. So one of the first mistakes is not putting the child's best interest first. Indiana courts prioritize the best interest of the child. I have a couple of videos about what best interest standard means, but it's actually a vague standard if you don't know what it means legally. And what the courts look to is they look at a lot of factors. They look at things like where your child resides, the community they're in, the people they're around. If you're in a custody case, you want to think about those kinds of things. Is your home set up for your child adequately? Are they in extracurricular activities, and are you supportive of that? Are you getting to them to their doctor's appointments? Do they have extended family or friends or community that they're involved in? So you want to look at these things holistically and look at your child as it relates to all the different factors in your life, and are those factors things that benefit them? If they're things that benefit them, it could go a long way towards helping your case. And something I've seen recently is that people can be too caught up on arguing with the other spouse to actually productively make decisions for their best interest of their child. For instance, they can't even have productive conversations around which therapist to choose and why, or what parenting time is going to happen next week. So if you want to be successful in your custody case, you want to be the bigger person, because a lot of times these arguments are in writing, they're going to get presented to the judge, and you want to be the person that's having productive conversations, trying to drive results and decisions that benefit your child. So the biggest, one of the first mistakes is not putting your child's best interest first. The second big mistake is just ignoring the parenting time guidelines. If you have a case and the Indiana parenting time guidelines apply, you should definitely familiarize yourself with them. A lot of times people don't, and they just operate without knowing what to do, and they can make mistakes. One of the big things is the opportunity for additional parenting time. If you're going to be gone for a period and you use third-party care to care for your child, a lot of times you would need to give the first right of refusal. Sometimes people don't understand that, and they don't do that, and they can get caught up and face a contempt motion or things like that. Another big thing is if you're traveling, the guidelines would ask that you put together an itinerary, let the other spouse know where you're staying, when you're leaving, and when you're coming back, so they're at least apprised if your child's going to be traveling. So it's important to familiarize with yourself with those guidelines. Another spot where I see problems all the time is communication. The child goes to the other parent's house, and they never hear from the child. It's important to make sure the child's reasonably accessible to the other parent with a once daily phone call. That way they can't hold you not letting the child communicate against you. It's important to understand the guidelines. You can find them here. It's on a government website here in Indiana. Definitely read through them. Mistake number 3 is just negative behavior towards the other parent. Courts don't appreciate abusive behavior or even hostile behavior towards the other parent. I always tell people, be the bigger person. These things, and I just said this earlier in the video, but all this stuff's in writing and these texts are going to come in. You don't want to be berating another person or hostile or unproductive and something that's going to be shown to the judge. So be the bigger person. Don't be negative to the other parent. Try and collaborate for the best interest of your child. Collaborating with the other parent, even if they're unwilling to, if you can show that you're the one trying to do it, it's going to go a long way towards improving your case. And then fourth, not keeping a record of everything is also a mistake. A lot of times someone says, I've had the child more, but they don't have records of it. Or they may say something like the other parent's not getting the child to school on time, but they haven't went and gotten the school attendance records. You want to get records. You want to document everything. So I highly recommend creating a parenting time journal. I have one you can download on my website. And ultimately what that will do is allow you to keep track of the important information for your child, because if you ever end up in a contested custody case, you then have data you can use to benefit you in your case. And mistake number 5 is going it alone. You want to hire an attorney to help you with your case. An attorney that is familiar with the custody process, the courts, and the court system can really help you achieve a positive outcome. A lot of times I work with somebody over a period of time, coaching them on how to improve their standing so they can get the results they want in a case. I recommend staying ahead of the game, document everything, prioritize your child's best interest, keep updated on the parenting time guidelines, and be the bigger person in these situations. Don't get caught up in the hostility. I personally understand family law from a personal standpoint. It's emotional, it's hard. These are, a lot of times there's a lot more to a relationship. So you got to put that behind you and come about it from more of a collaborative standpoint and be the bigger person because that's what's best for your child. If you have questions, feel free to give me a call. I do custody cases throughout Indiana. Would be happy to talk to you about your situation and give advice as needed. So here's my number. Give me a call or text, and good luck in the next year.